Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan. So even though I've got this as a prop, this video, as you can see from the title, is actually my tour of the different spaces that I use for my planner system. And so this will be a several part series on my channel for the next couple of weeks. I originally planned it to be a two-part series. I started recording the videos in June and was planning to try to get them up in August of 2024 to celebrate my 2-year anniversary of moving into my new home, but time got away from me, and so I am recording it in bits and pieces. I am going to go ahead and post the first part of the video. It does include some references to when I recorded it, which is June-July time frame, and so I did record it several months ago, but I'm going to go ahead and post it. The second video will be a kind of like a comparison video of some of the old footage from the first part and how I have since then made some changes to my planner area. And then I think there will be a third video talking specifically about my sticker organization system, and a fourth video that finishes out the series with how I store my stickers, all the different locations that I store stickers, as well as the rest of my storage areas for planning. So I'm planning a 4-part series, essentially, and so we are going to dive right into it. This first part of the video is going through my storage areas for my past planners, as well as where I store my current planners. And again, this is from several months ago, and so my planners have been updated, but the system and the storage areas do remain the same. Just the planners have changed in and out. So I hope you enjoy this footage, and I hope you will stick around for the rest of the series as well. Okay, I've got a shot right now of my fireplace. This is my living room, and to the left of my fireplace is a set of bookshelves that I store some of my planner supplies at. And so basically you can see this section right here, which I'll go through in a minute, then this section right here, and then right above that, I have a couple of planners right here, and in these boxes, I also have a couple of things. So we'll just kind of come over here. I consider it like this entire section, like here, and then the stuff a little bit further down, which I'll show you in more detail in a minute. All of this is just like storage or reference. So they are essentially all of my past planners. So these two right here, I won't show you the full flip through, but this is Rose's. This is actually my pregnancy journal. Actually, no, this should be the other way. So this is my pregnancy journal. And then this is Rose's first part of her first year memory book, and so these are stored here, and I will just continue adding to this shelf when I finish some of her memory books. This box and this box, they both, well, I think this one is empty, but this box contains some of my travel stuff, and I'm going to move it down here so you can see it. Hopefully it's not moving too quickly for you, but this one has, you can see here, my Smash book. This is the one from September, and then I guess that's the only thing that I have in here, but the others, they have things like my, I think this box back here, it has my like Halloween Smash book, or I guess it's like an October daily that's in there. So it's just like all of the holiday and travel related stuff in these 3 boxes here. So going down a little bit more, again, I won't show you every single planner, but this is all of Sophia's memory books. So row up here, this shelf up here is Rose's, just her 2, but then of course Sophia is 7, and I've got these organized by, this is for 2017, this is for 2018, and I can tell that because of the coordinating discs. This is all, these 4 right here are 2019, these 5 are from 2020, and it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 volumes of that. And so after 2020, pandemic year, I went back to being just much slimmer. And so there's only 2 volumes for 2021. This is 2022. And as I've mentioned in multiple videos, I am very behind in memory keeping. So this is the only part of 2023. And Rose was also, she was born at the very end of 2022, and 2023 is where I'm still trying to catch up with hers too. And so I'm still working on that. So going down here then, in this section, I have a couple of reading Bibles. These are like readers. They're written kind of like books. There's like no verses and those types of things. It's set up like a book. I'm just going to show you really quickly what that looks like. And so these are from Sola Scriptura. So I have that. The Bible Project is the publisher, but it is just those books in here. But in addition to that, on this left-hand side, usually I have it on here, but right now I only have Christmas. I do have 3 other holiday planners that are in deluxe covers. There's one that's yellow, which is my, like, I guess, everyday one. Then I have one that is in a black deluxe cover, that's for Halloween, and then one that is in a gold cover for Thanksgiving. So October, Halloween, November, Thanksgiving, December, Christmas, which is this one, and then all of the other 9 months are in the yellow everyday one. And then in addition to that, I have all of these home binders. So these are the 7 categories that I have. I have one right here. That's medical, but these are my home binders. I do have a flip through on my channel for these as well, but I keep them here just for reference. When I'm actually using them, like again, this whole section right here, these shelves are what I consider like the past or storage. So if there's something that's currently active, example being this medical binder, then they don't sit here. I actually pull it out and then move it into my active section, which I'll show you next. So that way I know that I'm actively working on it. So this medical binder I am trying to update right now. And so this is an example of one that would not sit right here. Normally it would be here, but since right now I'm working in it and it's not just reference, it's actually active papers that I'm organizing, things like that, it is going into my active section. So that will be what I talk about in the next little clip. Okay, so before I dive into the specifics here, I just wanted to do a quick pan of this section. This is what we call our homework desk. It is a combination of the spot where Sophia does her homework, as well as the spot where I do a lot of my planning, and this is where I do most of my filming. So I will kind of talk to you about my setup when we get into it, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. I do use this section. Part of it is storage, part of it is, just my active files, and so you'll see that as we get into it. But just to kind of start off with the surface here, the top here is where I normally keep my planner, so you'll see my planner right there, and then this medical binder, which I moved back over here so that way I can make sure that I work on that. I also have on this counter a couple of boxes. These boxes are Sophia's like markers, crayons, things like that. She also has a couple of bottles here that we need to return actually to church, but there's some crayons in there that I need to put back into the box. This is Rose's like little nightlight. It's not plugged in right now, but she likes to play with this, and so we keep this here just so she can have that. But it's a color changing unicorn nightlight that we sometimes take. We should take this on vacation a lot more often with us, just because she likes to have a little bit of light when she's sleeping. But that is here, and this is the charging cord for that. I have a mini recycling box that sits right there. I do need to empty out, as you can see here. I also have this. It's like, like to hold like post-it notes. Obviously it's empty right now. And so back here, is my little date thing. I haven't changed that in forever, so it's going to be clearly wrong. A couple of things here. This is a small notebook. I actually need to put this over here. I just stuck it with my medical stuff just because I need to go ahead and clean that out. We have a couple of like super small Bibles right there, like portable Bibles, and then candles and just deco. This tape needs to go into the drawer, which I'll show you in just a second, but it doesn't fit, so I put that in here. I did just make this move where I've moved all of my, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, I feel like that's a little bit better. It was kind of like a weird angle, but so I decided to move all of my inks out here. This is just way off into the back against the back wall here. And so it isn't really in the way, and I like it like this because it was initially in the drawer, which I'll show you again in a second, where the tape also was, and it was getting super crowded, so I'm glad to be able to move that out. I have deco. I always keep like a gnome of some sort here just to decorate seasonally. And then of course I have my planners right here. In this section, we have basically Sophia's stuff. So she has her stickers. This goes into this box, but this is a box of stickers. And this was just holding that. She has a book that she's reading, a couple of toys that she needs to move to her room. And then there's construction paper, just regular copy paper, and then a couple of giant floor pad coloring books that don't fit anywhere else, and so I stick them right here. There's clearly a lamp here as well, just to give me some extra light sometimes, but I store the paper and these big coloring pads in one of the desk organizer, the desktop like paper envelope bill organizers. You know what I'm talking about, I hope. But it has like 3 separators. I just kind of stick them in there just to be able to get that separated. Now normally this, I mean, it looks like the countertop looks like this, or probably a little bit messier. It hardly ever is completely empty, but in order for me to set up to record, I basically just take all the stuff that's in this middle section, so like these planners, those planners over there, I just move it behind me. So right behind me is my kitchen island, and so I just turn around. Let me just try to do this very slowly so you don't get sick, but I just turn around. This literally is just like doing a 180-degree spin, and I just stick it here on the counter, and like this is the back, like where I sit, like facing, if I'm sitting at my homework desk, my back is facing my kitchen, and so I just again just move the stuff there, and then I now have a clean surface where I can just lay out my stuff. I'll show you that. It's in this bottom drawer right here, so that right there is my little mat that you see in my videos when I record, and underneath that is like a filming arm. And so that filming arm, I basically, again, trying not to be too crazy here, but what I do is basically open this door, this one right here, and I will attach it. You can see right here where I've attached it so much that it's starting to scuff the inside. The side doesn't have any kind of stain or patina or anything like that, and so it's scuffing right here, but I just basically attach it, and then it has like a V. I can't do a V, but you know, it just kind of is like up and then down, and then it will be able to like attach my phone. Actually, I'm going to set it up so that you can kind of see what it looks like. Okay, I've got it set up now basically with the large like mouse pad that I use to film my videos. It's obviously very stained and loved, but I love this one just to give me a surface that's not like this, because this has like a stain on it, and so when I turn on my lights it like reflects the light, so this one kind of like mutes the light. Of course I can't avoid most of the light with this, but you know, my covers and things like that, when I record it does still pick up the light, but I am not a professional recorder, so you know, this is my setup. So this is, like I said, a very large mouse pad that I purchased off of Temu, and I love this thing. I love the pattern too. I can definitely buy another one though and upgrade, because this one's starting to like show some stains and like my kids paint on it and all sorts of things. But let me go ahead and show you the setup here for the ring. So I open this door like you can see right here, and I just basically attach this. It's meant to be like basically for a tabletop, but I am lucky enough that I was able to use this door, and so I just adjusted it to where instead of having it kind of like, just imagine it like 90 degrees tilted, like so this clip should be on like a table. Instead I put it on the door, and so I just angle this part of it to be like the overhead view like this, instead of like facing it for the table. But I mean, it's easily adjustable. This goes like basically like, I guess it would be a 360. It goes in all sorts of directions, but that's how I set it up, and that's pretty much how I set up for my videos. When I'm not recording, I do take it down, and this arm as well as the mouse pad, they just go into this drawer right here. And basically in this drawer, the only other thing that I have in there are some, you can see here, some arts and crafts totes. There's an empty tote bag. There is a Lazy Susan that I don't use for anything. And then this is some extra tape that I wish would fit into my drawer, which I'll show you again later. But it's supposed to be in the tape drawer, but my tape drawer is overflowing, and so I put it here instead. Actually, now that I'm doing this video, I guess I could find a tote of some sort, like a small box, and put all of my tapes here into the Lazy Susan. That might be a great idea. So that might be a change that I make, to move all of my tapes in here, so that way it is not cluttering up the drawer with the tapes. So that's all that's in here. And then just moving up a little bit, I have a couple of drawers. So that's like the big cabinet, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drawers. These are much smaller. This side is much narrower than this side, okay? And so on this side, again, hopefully I'm not moving too quickly for you, but on this side is basically all of my scissors and my active tools that I'm using. So like my actual like whiteout that I'm using right now. I have a couple of those. I have my washi cutter. I have more whiteout. There's several pairs of scissors. Here's the tape that I showed you underneath in the cabinet. Here's the one that I'm actually using. I don't put like 2 or 3 of them in here. I just keep the one. And there's a couple of other things like glue sticks. There's a pencil sharpener. Back here, some more scissors. There's more, like this is Mod Podge. There's some stamps. There are some like punches, a protractor, spray adhesives, all like the glues and tapes, actually mostly glues and scissors type things go in here. I also have some stamps that I use regularly, as well as these, I consider them like washi dots, but they're like just like these circles. I don't know if you can see them, but basically I bought like a roll of like 20 sets of these, and they're different colors, but these are just like little dots that I use to mark my planners. I also have some other types of like functional washi tape type stuff. I also have date numbers, so it's just like random stuff in here. This is my drawer that I go in pretty much all the time. Every single time I sit down to work on my planner, I'm going in here for something, whether it's whiteout, tape, or you know, like a washi cutter or my ruler. I use my ruler all the time. Something in here is being used, so this drawer pretty much stays open when I plan. Okay, now going in the middle, this middle section is, you know, like a keyboard drawer essentially. I have to move my chair out of the way. This is my my planner bag, by the way. It just has some of my planner supplies portably. Underneath here, where, you know, your legs go, I have my recycling. So this is the big bins that I dump, that small box I showed you earlier. I dump it in here, and then when it gets too full, I move it to my car. But this drawer is kind of like that keyboard drawer, and so I hardly ever open this, just because when I'm sitting down, it's hard to open this drawer. But it does have most of my stamps. I do keep the one stamp, my date stamp that I use all the time, in my other drawer, but all the rest of my stamps are in here. I do have a stamp book as well. I'll show you that in a little bit, but these are all of like the kid stamps that we've collected over time. Also, of course, like these gym clips and paper clips and things like that. Here's another ruler. So like this drawer and that drawer, these are like kind of connected, like they're combo drawers. So the tape that I showed you on top of my counter, it's supposed to be in here somewhere, but clearly, you know, you can see this is really full. I also have stencils back here, but this was also where I kept all of my ink pads, and so definitely I had to move that out because you can see that's super full already. And so yeah, like it doesn't even close. Like I really hate it when drawers don't close, you know, so I have to constantly move things around. But I hardly ever go in there. Of course I will open it to get stuff, but mostly I do not, just because if I'm sitting there, it's hard to open it. But these two are pins. These are all of the random pins. Sophia and I randomly, like recently did a video where we went through and checked all of the pins, and so we tossed all the ones that didn't work. These are my calligraphy pens. I also just stick them back there with my inks. Not the best way of storing them, but that's how I did it. And so this is just Post-it notes. I have a sticky note obsession apparently, and so I have a ton of sticky notes, and this one also is sticky notes. It also has like my wax melts for Scentsy, and so I put that in here, and like essential oils and things like that, just because I have nowhere else to put it. So I used to keep a wax warmer on my desk, but on this homework desk, but now the only thing that I have is going to be that candle. I try to keep it very like simple, like just the one item I'm going to use. So right now it's just that one candle. And so that is it for the bottom half of this. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. The only thing I missed was my picture. So you can see my picture there. I took ages ago, probably 20 something years ago. And now we're going to move upwards to this set of cabinets. So let me rearrange myself and take down the filming arm and talk to you about what's in this set of cabinets and this set of cabinets. Okay, I decided just to go ahead and open both sides just so you can see what they look like when all of the doors are open. I hardly ever open all the doors like this, but that's what it looks like. So we're going to start here on the left hand side. I cannot reach this very top shelf, and so in order to get anything here I do have to use a chair or a step stool of some sort, but up here I basically just store office supplies. And so these are all the things that I used to use for work. So there's like right here, that is like a receipt holder. You basically, it's like a sharp point and you just stick all your receipts on there, or like stick notes on there. Like it's like, I don't know, restaurants use it to like hold all their orders. So that's that. This is one of those manila folder organizers. So that's that. There's a letter organizer. There is a like business card holder, and that's like I guess like translucent white box is like an old file box that I just can't get rid of, even though I do not use it. Here on this middle drawer, I can't actually reach this. This is like one of those letter organizers that I have. So this is kind of what I use to organize like the big coloring pads that I showed you earlier and the copy paper for Sophia and her arts and crafts. So that is there. I can't get back in there. But also this shelf has basically all of my punches. So of course my arc punch, which I use all the time. Behind this, if I lift this out, right behind it is my Happy Planner letter size punch, which I don't use as often. So I put that in the back. And then I have my blue Happy Planner punch, which I use all the time. And then this one is a 6-ring Filopax personal size basically punch. And then I have a regular 3-ring hole punch there. And then on this shelf, these are basically all of my active files and planners. Some of it is actually future planners, which I should move. But so I used this jar. This is just a jar of like, it's like, you know, the little glass beads, marble type things. And behind that is another jar. Hopefully you can see that. I think that one I have emptied. It used to hold like, no, it still has it in there, but it has like push pins and tacks and things like that, which I don't have cork boards anymore, but that's what's in that jar in the back. But I use this just to keep the planners from going all the way in here, but because I don't know if you can tell, but like my hand is behind the door here, and sometimes my planners do get stuck back there, and so I use this just so that way the planners don't bump up against the hinges for the door. But these are all of my current planners. So this is my personal planner, here's my faith planner, this is my reading planner, family, budget. This is some more budget notes, so these two kind of go together. I'm trying to keep them together so that way I can work on them together. This is the everyday, the holiday memory book, seasonal deluxe cover book that I mentioned in the previous clip, or like one of the clips earlier, when I showed you the storage shelves. These two actually need to be moved. That will go in the drawer over here. But those are like planners for next year. This one is actually my music folder. I get a lot of like copies, or if I get like actual like sheet music, I'll make copies of it so that way I can punch it for discbound. So this is a Work Plus Life planner that I use for my music binder. I put a headband here so that way I can hold it when I sing. This one also, sometimes I don't have a ton of music to sing, and so these two are my music binders. I'll use one of those too. This is my chores planner. This one and this one, these two right here are the memory books for the girls, and it does contain 2023 as well as 2024. And so this is the shelf that I'm pretty much in all the time. If it's not in one of these planners, then it's basically sitting, I'll scroll down again, basically right here on my desk, right? So that is that for the left hand side. Okay, and then now we're going to the right hand side. And yeah, this is pretty much set up, you know, similarly with all the supplies that I use regularly. I didn't mention on the left-hand cabinet, but it applies for both. But these shelves, I think you can see here, they are like removable, adjustable shelves. And so I did adjust them to fit my needs to convert it to basically planner cabinets for myself. And so right up here in the very top, I actually moved this shelf down low enough to where if I am standing on my tiptoes, I can actually reach these. And so I did lower this particular shelf on this right-hand side to be low enough that I can reach it. So there's like a very big gap at the very top. I wanted this shelf to be reachable for me. But I'm gonna start here on this right-hand side. Right here, I have two fireproof document holders, and it basically holds our household notes and finances, things that I feel like are vital documents that need to be in here. So it has like our marriage certificate, birth certificates, passports, our checkbook, things that are for the house goes in there. And then these three, I will do, I'll link, or just let me know in the comments if you want to see like more thorough flip throughs of these. But this is my stamp book. So I do have lots of stamps in that stamp drawer. I need to be better here. It's harder to do it left-handed. But the rest of the stamps, especially my acrylic stamps, let me just bring this down just a little bit so you can kind of see this. All right. So this is my stamp book. And again, if you want a more thorough flip through, I can do that. But I basically just use some document holders and I've stored my acrylic stamps in there like that. Okay, and then coming back up, I have right here, and I don't know which is which, but one is like basically a sample of all the different layouts that I have in terms of planners, and the other is a sample of every single like note paper that I have. So those are these two books. Then I have this one is like one of those empty like plasticky document holder things. It's empty right now. This one has construction paper, and then there's copy paper. So this is where I move the construction paper and copy paper down for Sophia into an area that's reachable for her. So whenever she runs low, I just kind of replenish from that. This one is my, okay, so definitely, okay, so these two, the ones on the black rings, those are the two with the like, note paper and planner. This one is actually my washi samples, which I have not updated in forever. Let me show you this one. Again, I might have to do separate videos for some of this, but this is my washi samples. I made these like washi cards and kind of put this together in this book. I hardly ever use this. This was a fun project, but I hardly ever use washi. So it was a fun project though. So that's washi. I totally forgot that was in there. So now that I've seen that, I definitely should use that more often. Okay, coming back up here. All right, I made a mess of it. Like, look at the way I stored it now. Okay, anyway, it's totally messy. But this is my sticker book. So this is my reusable sticker book. I won't pull that down because I feel like I've just like totally mangled this video. But this is my sticker book. It is reusable sticker sheets, which I cannot find anymore. I really love this version of the stickers, the silicone release paper that I've used for the sticker book. Can't find any more. Luckily, I purchased a bunch. So I do move stickers in here whenever I feel like it and just have time. I have some coloring books for Sophia as well as for me. These are my Inspired by Grace coloring books. There's some coloring books and activity books here, and then a couple of like Bible stories, and like there's actually just one. I thought I had another one in there, but that of course is very similar to the one that is on the counter. And then like I said, these are adjustable shelves, and so I really just wanted to be able to have one single spot where I can always find my paper trimmer. And so I basically, you can see here, just kept it very slim. It's basically as close as possible in terms of adjustment for the shelves. And I put my paper trimmer here. It is the one I use on video all the time, but my Fiskars. I just replaced the trimmer blades too, so super exciting. Okay, and then this is a mess. I really need to clean this out, but you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. I think what I really need to do, honestly, just trying to speak out loud, is all of this stuff really needs to be with the rest of my planners, and just I need to get rid of this because this is all like future planner stuff, things that I want to use, and so that really means it needs to go into storage. But for right now, it is like, this is just an undated planner. This is a 2024 planner that I have not used. It's a current planner. And then I have like pulled apart several planners, taken the covers and discs off of several planners. And so these are just like all of those planner pages that I have stuck here. And this is like, I can tell this is note paper. And then this is just a box of all of my random, like totally random, like planner pages and note pages and things like that. These in the envelopes are all the memory books. Like these are like all classic vertical layouts in these envelopes. And I've been saving them to redate for my girls. And so that's that stack. And then on top of that, again, this is like super unorganized, but this is another stack of just like random unorganized note paper, filler paper, planner pages. So this stack, this entire box, as well as all of this, really should be moved and be put somewhere else. I also pulled these two things from the shelf on the other side because these are also current planners. I think I put them over there because this shelf, you can see here, because of the way I adjusted these shelves, these are like letter size and so they don't fit here. That's probably why I put them over there, because I'm smarter than myself sometimes. But this goes in here. I'm just gonna stick them in here. And so I might at some point come back in here and organize this, because this definitely can be cleared out. I need to move that stuff. But this video is getting very long already, so I'm going to pause. I've basically at this point showed you where I store past planners as well as where I store my current planners. And right here is just a, like, I guess like a small snippet of like the future planners that I'm going to be using, the ones that I've actually designated for future use. That's basically all these ones in the envelopes. But the rest of this needs to be cleared out. It's definitely not like a perfect, picture perfect craft room tour or anything like that, but this is what my planner space looks like for right now. I will record a part 2 to this video that shows you basically the storage, all the things that I don't actually have in use, but that I store just to have my planner hoard and my planner supplies, basically. So before I end this video, I do want to show you a couple of final like little touches. So at the very top, I have my inside out characters, just because I don't use the top of that for any reason. And then on the side, I have this like kind of, it's like a command hook basically, but it's not. But it's a hook where I put a clipboard, and I do have that on the other side as well. The clipboard is missing right now. I don't know where the clipboard is, but I do have another hook and it does hold my clipboard. And so sometimes I'll like leave notes for my husband or like notes for Sophia, and those clipboards go here. And so, all right, again, I will have a part 2 just because this video is getting so long already, and I want to be able to show these in a way that makes sense. So that is all for this first part of my planner space tour. Hopefully it gave you inspiration. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video, bye guys.